we have here some fomentation pads. Now let me just tell you about this. It has many layers in it. We have a friend of mine, Donna, makes these, and they're the best I've seen. In fact, we will have at the end of this filming where you can buy these fomentation pads. And I encourage you to do it if you can afford to. They're not that expensive. And it's a one-time buy. It'll last you the rest of your life, and more than likely you can leave it to your children and grandchildren, and it'll still last. They last that long. They're wonderful. But let's say you did not have a fomentation pad. You can use towels. You can have a towel just like this. If you had to, you can go ahead and sew a big X through this towel and hold it together and make it. Now, it will not hold the heat as good as having one of these, but it will work to some degree. I mean, you can get results. If you were in the jungle, you can go ahead and use a banana leaf and get it heated up, and you can do the very same thing. You can use newspaper if you got into a pinch and there wasn't anything else to do. You can use rags, and you will get results because it's the heat, the water heated up, and it's the cold that causes constriction, that causes the healing in this treatment. So whatever modality that works, use it. If you ended up somewhere and only had a piece of sponge, you can go ahead and soak that and use the very same thing. It'll work one way or the other because of the fact you're using water and you're using heat and you're using cold. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we heat these up. Now there's various ways you can heat this up. You wet these down real good till they're nice and soaked, and then you wring them out so that they're not real dripping. And if you had to, you can wrap them in tin foil and stick them in an oven and heat them up. You can put them in a boiling pan of water and get them good and hot. Or almost every home everywhere has a microwave, and that's what I'm going to show you how we do it in a microwave. I wet this down real good, fold it over, and then I have just a regular grocery bag, just like this. But you can have any plastic, doesn't matter what, just some kind of plastic bag. You put the foamy inside this plastic bag like this, and then you go over here to the microwave, and you put it in the microwave and turn the microwave on. Now what I do is I heat 2 of them at a time, and I fold another one up, put it in there, and I stick it on for about 10 minutes to get it really hot. At about 5 minutes, I go in there and turn them over so that they're real nice and hot. Sometimes you can get 2 exchanges out of one of them. They're so nice and hot. Now you'll want to have a basin of cold water here so that when we do the cold mitten friction, we have it. You're going to want to have a glass of water for your patient to take, and I'm showing you all this now why this is supposed to be heating up. You're going to want to have extra washcloths like this and a couple of hand towels. And obviously you're going to have about 4 to 5 regular towels that you're going to need. You got to have a lot of towels so that you can make sure that her body does not burn in any way, because it could burn if you didn't cover her and protect her right. And we're ready to do our treatment. We're going to take another towel, cover her up, unbutton her pajamas. And you know, it is important to keep your patient modest. So we just take her pajama top off because we want skin. We want it to be directly on the skin. You want to be real careful also if you're working with elderly people. They have a tendency to have thinner skin, so it's more cautious when you're working with them that you make sure they don't burn in any way. So now we have this towel over her, and then we're going to put another towel. And we're going to go ahead now and get one of our fomentations that we put into the microwave. And I'm going to use this right here as my table, but you can use any table at home. Here's another wool blanket or flannel. And you know, if you You can just cut up some of your old blankets. You can go to an Army Navy store. You can get blankets there, and all you do is cut it down the middle and then cut it across. And you'll have four, exactly four, the right size you need for a fomentation. You can also go to used stores and find good wool blankets many times. I know I was able to do that myself. So here's another hot one. You got to be kind of careful when they're really hot. They'll burn you too. Cover this up like this. And now we're going to lay it over her chest. When we do that, guess what? We put another towel on. So as you can see, we have lots of towels because now we want to hold the warmth in there. And we're going to pull the blanket up. And let's say Helena, for some reason, has a sinus infection. Well, Donna makes wonderful sinus packs. And so we can put this down in hot water, heat it up, wrap it in a hand towel like this. And then we can put this on Helena's face. And it'll cover her sinuses quite well while this treatment is going on. We want to be sure that we have water available for her because we want to keep her hydrated because she will be perspiring quite a bit, losing fluid. So it's very important to make sure that they're getting plenty of fluids in any kind of hydrotherapy water treatment that you give. They must have an adequate amount of water because of the fact that they're perspiring so much. So now we'd have a timer. We'd turn the timer on for 3 to 5 minutes. And we're going to pretend that she's already gone her full course. Now, what we do here we have ice water. And Donna has made, again, wonderful little mittens, but you can take a regular washcloth and sew it down one side and across the bottom, and you can stick your hand in and make your own little mitten. And they're easier when you actually have a mitten. You can hang on to it a whole lot better. So what I'm going to do is get ready for this because here's the ice. And I'm going to pull this back all at once and have my hands ready in this water. Wring it out a little bit, and I kind of just wring it like this, and now I'm going to put my hands on her chest, and I'm going to just rub her real briskly. And then I flip these over a little bit and just rub a little bit more. Now, if that doesn't go well with them, and especially an older person, you want to be careful because their skin is thin, then you would have a hand towel like this in the cold water, ready to go. Pick it up, squeeze it out like this, and this is what we do. If this was on her, we say to them always, the cold is coming, and then we just do this. And you know, the first treatment when the cold hits, it's sort of like, you know, but after that it feels absolutely wonderful when the next time comes because now you're starting to warm up. And then you can just take this towel like this and you can do a little bit like this. So you can do it either way. You know, it works. The most important thing is what I said earlier, is now we've done what? We've constricted the blood vessels. Remember what it's doing now, Helena. It's going through your body. It's taken all the impurities that were just pulled out, going through the cleansing organs, and now we're going to bring another fomentation. We're going to cover her back up quickly, bring another fomentation. We're going to lay it on her chest. Cover her up like this. Give her a drink of water. Make sure she's really drinking well. Now, I'm going to go down here and check her feet.